Good day, everyone, and welcome back to the corner of Remnant. Oh, my hair's a mess, I just realised.
Yeah, I know, mine's such a mess as well.
Yeah, the new dawn.
Such a mess.
But yes, I'm Larissa, the Nerd of Oz, your host today, and I'm joined by my co-host.
Hey everyone, I'm Emperial Dawn. I'm a RWBY fan artist, and yeah, that's about it.
With a new haircut.
Well, to the people who don't know that, it wouldn't be a new haircut, because then they'd just be me. Because they wouldn't have seen... Anyway, never mind.
You've been on here long enough, I think they all know what you look like.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If I'm introducing myself, then people who are new to me wouldn't know I had long hair.
True.
That's what I was trying to get at.
Go check out the last podcast. You can see how long his hair was.
Just go check out all of them to see my hair.
Binge watch them all.
Yeah. Not for me, not for the RWBY stuff, just for my hair.
Just for their hair.
Rest in peace. But yeah, thank you guys all for coming out. Of course, discussing RWBY episode 9, Lost.
Yes.
And
today.
Happy
New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate. Hope you guys had a wonderful time. Who is this guy? Yes, I feel that. I feel that very strongly. We did have a live stream post Christmas. We did.
Yes.
I bet all sorts of when we've recently had podcast and episodes we've covered, but I think we're up to date with everything.
Yeah.
We just skipped the week that there wasn't an episode.
Yeah, that's it. We just took a break over the holiday break. Well, there wasn't a new episode, so I was like, I don't really know what we'll talk about. We could just talk about random stuff that I thought, we'll just take a break and then come back with chapter 9, so...
Yes, and...
That was a fun chapter!
It was a very, very good chapter.
It was a fantastic chapter, absolutely. Yeah.
I've seen a bit more criticism of it than I would have expected.
Oh, really?
Especially from some more notable people, like, I remember I watched Dan's review, and he enjoyed it a lot, but he had a fair few criticisms for it, which I actually didn't agree with a lot of them.
Oh, okay.
But of course we'll get into that as we get more into the episode. But first of all, yeah, like I said earlier, like how are you guys New Year's?
Yes.
How was your holidays and stuff? How'd you guys focus? Apart from getting my head shaved by my friends, I had a pretty good New Year. Added another waifu to my collection on my birthday just 2 days ago.
I've got my collection. Oh, I haven't turned my on-air sign on.
Oh, yes, that.
I forgot to do that last stream, too. Yeah, I got that for Christmas, so...
I think the light from the window might not be able to see it.
I'm not sure. We'll see.
Very, very bright over there in that corner.
Yeah, not quite. But it's on.
It's there in spirit.
It's there in spirit. I could shut the blind, but that's why I like to have a little bit of natural lighting.
That's why it looks so holy, because it's there in spirit.
No. But yeah, for those guys who will be watching my Chapter 9 reaction, I did change my setup a little bit on the bookcase for the reaction, which I plan to do each reaction as well. So the on-air sign won't be there, basically. They'll move the figures around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the episode was really good. I really enjoyed it, from Mercury to Tyrion, Emerald, even, obviously Jean and Oscar and all that kind of stuff. I think a lot of characters that were highlighted in this episode, I think, shown really well. Even characters like Ren and Nora, who don't get as much shine these days, I think still had a really good impact. And just I think the biggest thing that I think I got from this episode more than anything was everyone's characterizations felt exactly correct. Everyone felt like the character we've watched for the past couple of months. Like, no one felt off, no one said something that didn't seem right. All that kind of stuff. And yeah, and as like Walker said, that's the one complaint I have seen, is that we didn't see Oscar's revelation. We didn't see his change of heart.
Yeah, that's true.
To me, people have been calling this the Oscar retrieval arc, and people are making such a big deal out of this moment, and
it wasn't really much of a deal to make.
No,
it was fine.
And I think that's why people don't like it, because people overblew it.
Yeah.
Like I said, and this is where it really comes down to subjectiveness. I said after episode 8, Oscar's going to be fine to be back at the house, like nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, you actually did say that. Yeah, you were right.
That's why it wasn't a huge deal to me, because it just seemed like that's what I was expecting.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was a huge revelation. I just think that, everything he was going through from the start of this volume, everything he was going through, like dealing with Ozpin, all that kind of stuff, and then John just kind of really coming into his face. That itself was a realization, and then he just needed to go for a walk.
Yeah, exactly.
He found a clothes store and he came back. I don't think there was anything there to see.
Nah, I don't think so.
You could argue that people wanted more of a thing to see, which that's fine.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I don't think we missed anything in terms of what happened.
I think at the end of the day, I think Oscar was okay. Sure, he was a bit shaken up after what happened, but he seems to bounce back really quickly after things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and when even I think it was. I can't remember. I think it might have been Weiss after it all happened. She said, "I think we all need some time apart, some space."
Yeah, Blake said
Blake did, yeah. So I think he also thought, well, I might just go for a walk and get some space and just to think about things. So yeah. So I guess he did. So
I don't think he walked off and had a big talk with Oz or had some interaction or had some big revelation.
Nah.
You know, I know it's a story. I know the point is to be really, really engaging, but it's also you got to some people just don't have those kind of amazing. Epiphanies.
Yeah, exactly.
Some people just realize something. Some people just have a change of heart. It doesn't always have to be some massive anime, heartbreaking moment. We got two different kinds of those in this episode. Was
yeah, exactly. Might have been a bit too much.
And Ruby's not shy of doing flashbacks, so we could see at a later point.
Yeah.
Or hell, this could be Neo, or this could actually be Ozpin fully taking him over. There could be more to it here.
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
No, neither do I. But I'm saying for people who are critical, I think that there always could be more.
But the thing is, even if we had seen him, we might have just seen him sitting on a bench seat just thinking about things. It wouldn't have probably been really much to see as such. So I think so. Yeah, I liked how it was shown in the end, and with him coming.
And I think the bottom line is when I watched it for the first time, none of that went through my head.
Yeah,
I was just enjoying what we saw. I was enjoying. Yeah. Like it made sense to me. Like he's very much like RWBY in a sense, because that's almost like RWBY's his role model to a degree.
Yeah.
Even when RWBY compliments his new gear, he's that's the piece of criticism like the compliment he reacts to the most. Because I think he looks up to RWBY, so they're very similar characters.
Yeah, they
are. In that regard, they bounce back and they kind of get through. And I for one really enjoyed the revelation and how it wasn't as big of a deal because people kind of already knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
But the idea that, and by that I mean the characters, not the fandom, that, Oscar's like, I don't know how much time I have left as me. Yeah. I'm going to do everything I can. And again, that was another thing I've seen.
Yeah.
Kind of, some people didn't enjoy that, but I really liked that. I really liked that. It was more of it was more like, if Oscar's in a situation. Yeah. Let's not blow it up. Let's just accept what he's feeling. Because right now it's him in that situation. He's the one that matters. So let's not go like, oh, you're not going to be you. Oh, we're going to miss you so much. It's going to be like, okay, if that's how you feel, then we'll go along with you then. Because you're the one who has to face this, not us.
Exactly. And I think it's taken him sort of 2 volumes to get to this point where he is accepting his situation that he's in, and he's just going to make the most of it.
Yeah, because volume 4 he wasn't accepting, and volume 5 he didn't have a choice because Ozpin was controlling him most of the time.
Yeah, that's it. He was sort of going along with it. Yeah.
Granted, and I think a lot of people were expecting more Oscar to have Oscar hasn't had a huge character arc yet, so this would have been a good moment to give him something, which is like what I said earlier. Yeah. There could have been something else, but I think what we got was actually done right. Yeah,
I think we'll probably get more down the track anyway, so...
Yeah, because we still have to get to that moment of what happens when they merge, or whatever other lives...
However it all works,
what actually happens. So, yeah. We jumped all around, but I guess maybe we're going to go and...
Well, we might as well start from the start of the episode now that we sort of covered that little bit off. Okay. And also, hi, Corey.
Yes, hi, Corey.
No, well, it was pretty accurate there. I was letting Oscar drive the car.
I don't think I was just letting him. I just think right now Ozpin's just... He's locked himself too far deep. Now he's just trying to get back out.
Maybe. Or he's just watching from, the sidelines in a way, yeah. I feel like we need Oz to be around for some more Oz. Yeah, I agree. So when Oz comes...
I think so. But I do think it would have been nice to get some development without Oz.
Yeah.
To really define the two characters as two separate things.
I think we probably still will. We've still got some more episodes yet in the volume, as well as future volumes. I say we will. It's just it wasn't needed right at this moment, so...
No, I think there was a lot of other things we needed to focus on.
Yeah.
Right now. One of which being, the very long overdue... Oh, I wouldn't say overdue, but the very long anticipated...
Yes.
Kind of more in-depth story into Mercury, which was one of the things I was looking forward to most this volume, because that was one of the first things, it was mentioned in like a Reddit AMA or an Instagram AMA back in like January of this year. Or, no, January of last year.
Last year, yeah. Well, yeah.
That one of the questions was, you know, Mercury semblance or whatever, and, you know, they just said, oh, don't worry about that, we're going to get into all that kind of stuff in volume 6.
Yeah.
And because it was so early in development, I was like, there's a good chance that might be cut.
Yeah. This is one of those things that may have been cut, but I'm glad they included it, and I think how it was explained and everything, and she's also showing Emerald Stouts as well. I thought it was really well. It was really good. Well done.
And it really nicely reestablishes what, again, Mercury's character felt really Mercury here, which is, again, I'm going to say that for every character this episode. Like, this felt like Mercury.
It did. Some of his voice lines in the past I've been a little bit unsure about. Like, and this is actually probably the first time since Volume 3 we've actually got some actual good, proper dialogue from Mercury. Yeah. Because he hasn't said much at all.
When you have a talent like Yuri Lowenthal there, you got to use it, man. Fucking Yuri Lowenthal. Bloody hell, damn Spider-Man. Along with many other characters Yuri has done. But
Mercury
what I like
says. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was good. I loved it so much. But yeah, I just like how, like, and he did it too so confidently, kind of re-establishing himself. You know, he is a bad guy. Yeah. You know, he is a villain. He doesn't regret what he's doing. No. He doesn't, you know, there's no redemption there. Well, I mean, there could be, but it really nicely cuts Emerald from Mercury, because they've both been in a shady, like, you know, they feel like they don't belong here, or, you know, we don't know what their intentions are. And it's cool now we've got this really nice cut down the middle where, now Mercury feels like he belongs in this group. Sure, Tyrion doesn't think so, but Mercury now feels like one of these villains. Maybe not obviously as powerful as the rest of them, but he now feels like he belongs. Just
he's found like he belongs there. He's found where he needs to be, basically.
Yeah, whereas, and we got now this fine line of Emerald isn't going to be a villain for the rest of this series. Yeah. She's going to get a redemption arc, or she's going to go find Cinder or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, she's not going to stay here.
Because her whole reason for being there was Cinder. Now that Cinder's out of the pictures, it's like, well, why am I here? Sort of.
And I love how Mercury was just so upfront, like, you know, wake up already.
You're delusional.
You're delusional, and she is. She is. But at the same time, Mercury could be as well, because of the position he's in. Yeah. Exactly. I love how we learned more about his father, and like how like he was trained as an assassin. All this kind of stuff that we've kind of always known and speculated. It's cool just to get like word of mouth and just kind of be like, okay, just to get nice confirmation. And I like that he did all this a lot through fighting. Like, you know, he did it all while fighting, while he's there to, like, you know, like, while he's fighting Emerald, like, he's letting all this, like it's a stress relief. Yeah. Almost in a way.
Well, Emerald wanted to know why he went with him, so I guess in a way he was explaining it to her as to why, and also trying to sort of, like, wake her up as well, you know, like, oh, you didn't have a mummy that loved you, well, I had a father who hated me.
Yeah, I love that line.
Yeah, that was really good.
I did expect that line to come out, so when I just like, oh, that's a good one. I love that line. That's a really cool one. Yeah. And I like the fact that we do also get, like, oh, what's Mercury's semblance? Like, it's a spoiler question, I can't tell you that. It's like, well, you kind of were telling us, because you didn't give us an answer, and there isn't an answer to give. He doesn't have one.
He doesn't have one. Well, not anymore. He used to,
What I really like, too, and this is not something I've seen many people bring up, this so nicely parallels Yang and Mercury even more. Because now they both, granted, one's not by choice, but they both now have a semblance that is powerful, but is a crutch. Yeah. You know, Mercury got his semblance taken away from him, probably because, you know, it made him weak. And in a sense, that's what Yang's does.
Yeah, it does.
At least in her mind now. Yeah. After what Tai said, you know, Yang's semblance was a crutch. It was something that she could use on to win.
But too much,
you know, but now she so much more relies on her actual skill, which also parallels to what Maria was telling RWBY. Yeah. You can't just rely on this. You have to rely on this and this. Exactly. What you can actually control. Yeah. And so, that's why I really like the parallel between Yang and Mercury, that there's now that even more so, because there's so many different connections we have now between villains and characters. You know, you got Yang to Adam, you got Yang to Mercury, you got RWBY to Cinder, you got RWBY to Neo, RWBY to Tyrion, Crow to Tyrion. I even saw someone on Reddit say they'd love to see a fight between Crow and Mercury, because of the kind of connections they've had of like drunken fathers and all that kind of stuff, and just the idea of them fist fighting, and like that'd be a really cool fight.
That would be. an interesting fight.
Like if we got like a Battle of Haven 2.0 that was done better.
We saw more fighting.
We had like a lot of conjoint fighting where like characters would just like jump from person to person fighting. I'd love to see a little segment.
It was just a big group fight.
Mercury and Crow. Yeah. Well, a group fight would be really hard, especially because they do tend to work more like mocapping, so they can't have like they can't really do not so much for fighting, but they can't do like 20 people in a mocap studio because that's not how mocap works.
Well, that's true, Nightwalker, because he probably does.
Yeah, that's another good element that's possibly there. Because again, it wasn't established on Great, but there's still a lot of not commotion. There's still a lot of issues there between Yang and Mercury.
Yeah.
That wasn't touched on fully in the Battle of Haven. So I'm hoping we get to see more of that. Even with Yang more focusing on like Adam and stuff, I still hope that that doesn't fall to the wayside, because I still think there's a lot there with Mercury and Yang.
Yeah.
But like we said, Emerald got a lot of stuff in there too, like really kind of just, letting everything out that, like I'm not here for Salem, I'm not here for all this, I'm just here for Cinder, but she's not here anymore, so why am I still here?
It also sort of confirms what we expected with Emerald as well, that she really does see Cinder as family, and that she really looked up to Cinder, and there was a lot of love there. Norton, my computer is not idle, stop it. And it just confirmed all of that as well, and that really, she was there because of Cinder, and I like that they reconfirmed all of that, because there was sort of a lot of the hints we picked up over the series, but to actually have her say it.
Really and with all that, it's like we're being told all the stuff we've been assuming, but it doesn't feel forced or in our face.
No,
it
doesn't. Just feels like
here's all this hinting, then information. It's like it's much like, hey, let's just reestablish some stuff here. In case people have missed it or etc. It felt all in their characters to say all this kind of stuff. Yeah. And Mercury, just being very valiant and like, this is where I belong, and it's like, I joined you because you needed someone of my skills and you happen to be right at the same time.
Yeah, like, exactly.
He's a very go with the flow character, much like Yang is. Yeah. In different ways, but they're still very much just, or even like Yang says that back in Volume 2, like she just went with the flow.
Thanks for the host, Yeah, it was, trying to explain my reaction ramble, and I did it sort of really badly, but it was just more the fact that he doesn't seem like the sort of person to me who would believe in things happen for a reason. It was just more the fact that the opportunity was there right when, at that moment, and he just went with it. He goes, okay, I'll just go with this. It sort of seems to like, he didn't really think about it, or just like, okay.
He's an opportunist.
Yeah, opportunist.
He takes what comes in front of him to full advantage. So, like again, like even though he's a black-hearted assassin, he doesn't really give a crap. He's still like young and like angsty, that kind of thing. Yeah. But if he hadn't run into Cinder and stuff, he might have straightened himself out. But it's like, well, I'm just saying in terms of like, I don't think he's a bad guy by nature. I think he's a bad guy because that's just the opportunity that's come up to him. He doesn't have a strong moral sense in terms of... Granted, the shit he went through with his father definitely molded him a certain way. But I'd like to think that, he's a bad guy by situation. Yeah. At least in terms of how bad of a bad guy he is.
Well, I guess because with how he was raised as well. Like, even if Cinder and Emerald hadn't rocked up, he probably would have ended up, depending where they were, like, he could have ended up... and just like the shady side of Mistral, for example.
I'm not saying that.
I definitely see he would have gone down that track somewhere to be a criminal or something like that. So
yeah, I've also some people. I was having a few comments with some people, and they were talking about how Mercury, like how his understanding of what Sam's doing, like like he said, like, oh, we'll be top dogs in a new world. What more do you want? Yeah. And someone was saying like, oh, well, Mercury's going to be really surprised when he realizes Salem's going to destroy the world. And it's like, we still don't know that's what
We don't know that's what her true plan is, but it's definitely what we're suspecting. Because why else would she be wanting to get all the relics, sort of thing? So
yeah, I mean, we're really not sure. But I still like the idea of like, I mean, why not just be with Salem? Because if you win, then you get, you become top dog. What really more can you want? And I like that. Whereas Emerald does have more of a, she's, despite being a thief, she's not in it for the material or, like, the gains of the situation. Yeah. She's just in it because family. So it's a really interesting path of her as a thief character.
For her. Yeah, absolutely. Especially if Cinder doesn't come back.
Yeah, no, and I love the small interaction, the small fight between Emerald and Mercury. It just felt really, I just really liked it. You know, like Mercury wasn't trying to hurt her, just trying to intimidate her, and then just the awesome speech about her father, the semblance. You know, he had to work harder than anyone else to get where he is.
So his father's semblance was that he could take other people's semblances away.
Yeah, whether he could take semblances and use them, or he can just lock people's semblances away.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure, because that was a popular theory for Oscar's semblance will be.
Oh, okay.
Was something along the lines of sealing people's semblances, not taking them, but just having the ability to suppress them.
Suppress them, yeah. It's a very powerful semblance, that's for sure, to be able to remove someone else's semblance. It definitely fits with the asshole assassin father sort of.
Yeah. Well, also that's the thing too. Like, you know, when you're an assassin in a world where everyone can have a life-saving random ability, the ability to kill people and also suppress that defense mechanism, because that's what aura is. That's what aura and semblances are. They're meant to be defense mechanisms. So the ability to suppress that is actually, I don't even just think about this now. This is a really good ability for an assassin. For an assassin,
absolutely.
You know, and what Mercury's semblance was, it was some sort of power-up or, you know, flight or whatever, you know, would make sense of Mercury's backstory or, like, you know,
I think
inspiration.
it would have been some sort of, like, to strengthen your making stronger or something. Maybe something similar to Yang's, but not quite Yang's.
Yeah.
And that would make sense why you would say it was a crutch, because he didn't want him to rely on it.
Yeah. Most people I've seen said it would be like flight, because some of the inspirations, like Hermes and all that kind of stuff, like, he's like the winged boots.
Ah, yeah.
All that kind of stuff, so it's all to do with, like, flying and the ability to fly.
Or speed or something, a bit like RWBY's, but not quite the same.
Yeah, well, a few people had, like, speed. Like Neon's was kind of like a speed effect, but instead of the rose petals, she had the rainbow instead.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Or whatever Ublex was, if there was just a coffee high, which I think was just a coffee high, but still.
I still think it was his semblance within the zooming around.
Yeah, well, that's the thing too. Like people can have the same semblance. It's not like it's unique to every single person, but you know, but that's when like this kind of secondary effects have, like, you know, where RWBY can also
do the rose petals.
RWBY doesn't have super speed. She has the ability to burst into rose petals, which then by virtue gives her super speed. Yeah. Whereas Neon's had super speed with a rainbow effect. Yeah. Kind of thing. So it's kind of like how you interpret both of them.
They're different in slightly different in each way. So. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, like, in the finally established, like, this is where I belong, and this is where we get Tyrion coming in.
With his new tail.
Yeah, for anyone who thought the damn tail cap was his new tail, well, I hope you feel dumb now.
So, it shows it in the what's it called? The art at the end. That's the concept art. That it appears the metal plates on his tail is just covering his existing tail. So the scorpion bit on the end is definitely on the cap, and then the plated bits sort of cover his existing tail. You can sort of see it really well in the cap and the
concept art.
Concept art. Because when I first saw it, I didn't mention it, but I thought, oh, his tail's all gone, it's been replaced completely. But no.
Are you sure it's all of his tail? Because half of his tail was cut off, so wouldn't it be halfway up his real tail, then the top half and the stinger would be robotic?
I don't think so exactly, because it was just the tip that was cut off.
It was pretty high. Yeah, maybe.
And when it does extend, his tail does extend.
His tail looked really short with the cap on, I thought, but maybe that's because with the stinger wasn't there. It took a lot of the weight. The stinger looks huge. It looks a lot bigger than his previous one. Like the stinger itself looks quite big.
Yeah, we didn't mention about Mercury's legs. Yeah, maybe it was something to do with his legs, and without them, we couldn't use it anymore. I still think, I think specifically that Mercury's father took his semblance, because he said his semblance rather than just his legs. But
and I think the losing of his legs was just due to training. It beat him so badly that his legs just became
that, or he just took them. Yeah,
because he still had his human legs when they found him.
No. I don't know. Those bandages
they might have been so damaged after that Cinder just got him replaced. Who knows? I never thought about this. What if Watts had a hand in making those legs for Mercury?
Maybe
that makes sense. Because we know that that team at least knew of Watts to some degree because of the W on the tablet. Yep. So I never thought of that, but I guess that makes sense that Watts made the legs.
It could be.
For him, so that'd be interesting. But I love, and again, like, I wasn't the hugest fan of Tyrion back in episode 4. It just seemed like they were really trying to go for Tyrion be crazy, and it didn't work for me. Yeah. But this episode, I love Tyrion so much. This episode,
yeah, it was really good. Even he's like, "Shh, I want to tell you a secret." It's just so
And
creepy.
it's like, yeah, your question's all wrong. It's not what you have to gain from this. You should just want to do this.
Yeah, it should be. You should be loving what you're doing.
Yeah, and and Mercury to a degree kind of does, but Emerald doesn't. So
yeah, I agree, Corey. Yeah, he stole his semblance with his semblance. Yeah. Yep. Has it been confirmed that his name was Marcus?
Yes.
Yeah, I must have been mentioned
Cinder.
somewhere.
Yeah,
oh,
no,
Cinder said it.
Cinder mentioned
Marcus
that
Black. Oh yeah, yeah.
We're looking for Marcus Black. There he
Marcus
is.
Black. Yeah.
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 So, what was I saying?
Tyrion's tale.
Yeah, Tyrion.
And Tyrion.
No, yeah, I really loved just the stuff Tyrion got up to this episode.
Yeah.
And it was just like toying with them and messing with them, and just was really, just trying to kind of also keep everyone under wraps in a way, because since Salem's like no more desires, no more, no more thinking about yourself. So Tyrion was almost trying to calm the situation down as well, in his own weird way. And then, and then they said goodbye, and then they're going to Atlas. So
him and what's going Atlas to prepare.
Yeah, so that's very interesting. I've seen some ideas of maybe they're going to go kill Jacques, or they're going to go wait for the team to show up, or they're going to wait for Cinder and Neo. Like, I don't know. I'm really, really interested to see what ends up happening.
I don't think they'll be killing Ironwood. Oh, you said Jacques as well. Though, they did mention something about Ironwood calling on Vacchio for help, so they want to make sure that he doesn't do that.
Yes, so they could be going there to...
I think they're just going to be going on there just to keep an eye on the situation firsthand, and take action if need be.
Yeah.
I have seen some theories, people thinking their contact in Atlas might be Jacques, but I don't know.
No, I think the contact in Atlas is Watts himself, is Arthur.
Yeah.
I think he himself, because that's how they'll get into the kingdom.
Yeah.
Is through Arthur's contacts.
Yeah.
Old aliases or what have you. That's how they'll get in there, and I'm just very curious then where this leaves Cinder, where this leaves Emerald, Mercury, and Hazel. Going forward next volume.
Yeah, what are they going to do? Just hang out in the castle there, or are they going to go off somewhere else? Maybe they'll send them to Vacchio. Maybe
they'll be sent off to the other two maidens.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah.
Possibly. So very interested to see what happens there. And lastly, I just love Tyrion's just little like do what makes you happy, children, please. I'm begging you.
Yeah.
I love that line. I'm not sure exactly what he's meaning by that.
I know. Bless you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what he's meaning by that, but I love it nonetheless. It just felt so. Just loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But after all that, so all that domain of darkness, Salem stuff, we get back to Argus. And we have everyone wandering around the city looking for Oscar.
Yeah.
Explaining to Saffron, kind of trying to explain to her what's going on, but can't really say too much, of course. This was, of course, the RWBY Rewind episode bit that we got.
I thought that probably would be the case. It was the GIF that was posted as well, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, wandering around, then Saffron has to go pick up Adrian, not really much here. Nice little, attempts from characters to kind of lay the situation. I don't know that line Tyrion wanted to tell them. Maybe. But I felt like Tyrion didn't want to disrupt Sam's plans any further. And I think that would just be more of a hassle. But we'll see. That's very possible. I think, especially with the little poison he gave them, that does make sense. That definitely makes sense.
Maybe. It's very threatening. Yeah. Yeah, get happy with us or leave to find your own happiness and give me some fun hunting you.
Yeah, that's very possible.
And also how you said when Memra said, we just leave? And he said, oh, no, you can't do that.
You can't do that.
Yeah, exactly. That's in too deep now.
Loved you. I can't wait to see Beck's reaction to Tyrion.
Yeah.
That'll be so good. But yeah, so they all wander off, and then Ren and Nora, go off themselves. They realize Jon, just needs to be left alone for a little bit.
And they're getting hot drinks.
Bring back some hot cocoa to kind of warm him up, and then we get the leaf.
I knew as soon as I saw the leaf and then Destiny playing, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, it was really interesting. It was really interesting to me because I watched this one of the first things in the morning.
Oh.
On the Sunday, and I almost cried during this scene.
Yeah.
Which I really like because obviously I like when the show hits me in certain ways, you know. And I'm not the hugest Arcos or Pyrrha fan or anything like that, but it really did it justice here. I really thought.
It did.
Everything, you know, and this is something that, you know, we've been wanting since Volume 4. So it's glad that we get this moment.
It was very comparable to Volume 4, Chapter 2. Yeah, definitely. It's just, I don't know, just something about it. It's just the way they portrayed it all as well. It was just like, that feels, it just hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad that one of the first things John asks was, why here? I really like that, because I was like, why, why here, why her? Yeah, and it's not a park or a statue to Pyrrha, it's to all the people who died in the fall of Beacon.
It's a memorial.
This was their golden child. This was their girl that she, you know, everyone loved. This is where she was from, or at least where she trained.
Yeah.
So that's why they chose her to represent everything. So yeah, we come to the statue, and you got the fall leaves floating, and, you know, John just has this moment of just, you know, realization and just sadness and all this kind of stuff. What here?
And the plaque as well. So it says in memory of all the of course he was one of the valiant students who fought at Beacon, something along those lines. So it was for all those who fought at Beacon, but in particular
I don't even remember if it mentioned Pyrrha actually by name.
It's got her name at the top of it, but
okay, but the plaque itself is just to all those who fell.
Well, I think it's one of the many valiant students. Something along those lines. One of the many valiant students who fought at the fall of Beacon.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Because Pyrrha also wasn't the only one who died. Well, we know, of course, wasn't. Even though there was only two notable, but there would have been many who did.
They've implied many people died during the fall of Beacon.
Yeah.
And it's cool for them to always I don't know how many times they've done it, but I love the fact that they took they made a song out of like their theme.
Yeah, their theme. Yeah.
Out of the Destiny theme. Yeah. In honor of Pyrrha Nikos, one of the many students who fought valiantly at the fall of Beacon.
There you go. I knew it was something along those lines.
Yeah.
So it caught me off guard too, but I think John needed something like this to really just to get himself back in the right frame of mind again. It was really something he needed, so I'm really glad they did it.
I almost think that the show needed this.
Yeah, I think we all needed a bit of it too.
This was a bit of like a story arc, a plot that kind of people really wanted to get some more out of. So I really like that they did this.
The characters really needed it.
I remember back in Volume 5 and 6 when like John isn't in any of the trailers or any of the intros, and everyone thinks he's not going to do anything in the series. No. They got ya. Everyone who thought they wasn't going to do that, because they gave us something here for sure.
Yeah.
No, it was really good. The music was really touching. I really liked it. And then we get introduced to
red-haired woman.
I'm just gonna call her Carolina because she sounds exactly like Carolina from Red vs. Blue.
Well, same voice actor, so you know, yeah.
But it was actually it was so funny because I remember hearing this and thinking. I remember it was towards the end of the scene, so it wasn't during the start. Towards the end of the scene, I was like, man, that voice sounds really familiar. I wonder who it is. And it's like, oh fuck, it's Carolina. Oh fuck, that's Pyrrha.
I was thinking it too. I'm like, her voice sounds so familiar. Then I thought, of course, it sounds just like Pyrrha because it's Jen Brown. So I like how Jen Brown to me made her sound a bit older, like slightly not splitting image of Pyrrha, but very much like Pyrrha. Like just she did it really well. She's an amazing voice actress. Anyway, she's an amazing voice actress. To me, she definitely made her feel sort of older, a bit different, but still very much like Pyrrha. And I think that's also how I like how they animated John's face when he first heard her voice. It's like, what? Like he was hearing a ghost, but of course it was.
There were a lot of nice touches. Like he was like rubbing his scarf a lot around his waist. He was doing that a lot during the scene.
Yeah.
Had a lot of really surprising looks, tears. It was all really well done. Like the hair, like the leaves blowing in the wind, so his hair was doing the same thing.
I thought the wind animation was really good. It wasn't over the top. It was just in a nice couple moments where you'd see it. I thought that was really good. And
they deliberately gave her a design that had like a lot of fur, so like blow in the wind and stuff to kind of match the scene.
Yeah.
Was very nice. So of course, and you know. We'll get into this in a second. I want to cover the scene before we really get into it. Of course, we don't know who this person was.
Red-haired woman.
yeah, like, you know, like you keep saying like, oh, it sounds like a much older Pyrrha, you know.
Yeah,
We don't
it does to me
necessarily
in
know
a way.
it's meant to, in a certain sense.
Her voice just sounded to me just sounded
It
slightly
did, no, it
older
did.
than Pyrrha, but yeah, I don't know, it just sounded slightly different, but a lot like Pyrrha at the same time. So,
and of course we do know that this. I mean, it's pretty obvious that this character at least knows who John is.
yeah,
And you know, it's one of those things where like they were together. Like, Pyrrha and John were friends like a year, so I'm sure that, you know. Let's just say, because I think we both from this. Let's say it's her mother.
but I think very leaning heavily towards mother, if not mother, older sister, or a very close relative.
Let's stick on that track then, just for the sake of not making this confusing as hell for me. Trying to say the right words and not imply anything.
Yeah.
So assuming this is her mother, like assumingly, like, you know, they talked, they wrote letters, they sent video chats.
I bet she would have done a lot of video chats. And, you know, Farrah may have been really close to her mother, and she may have actually talked about her feelings she joined
Of course,
with her.
I imagine she did.
Yeah.
I agree that she did.
She wasn't able to talk to John about it, but...
And even if nothing else,
yeah,
she would have saw him on the Bridal Festival, if nothing else.
That's also true, yeah.
If nothing else, that would have been enough to know that this was at least someone that Pyrrha knew.
Also, she saw the Vital Tournament, she would have seen what happened with Penny and everything. Oh. And Pyrrha being in the middle of it before the things were cut off, so...
Yeah, that's true as well.
Mm.
Yeah, that would have been the last thing she would have seen, is her daughter kill someone else.
Yeah.
That's a very...
Sorry, I didn't throw that in there.
Well, no, it wouldn't have been the last thing she saw, because they still continued the broadcast all the way up until, like, the dragon, so...
Yeah, oh, that's true. Then, I think it stopped, and then it came up again.
Then came back up later, so yeah. But at that moment, that would have been the last
moment. That'd probably been the last time she would have seen Pyrrha on the screen, though.
Yeah, so she could already tell. But yeah, going on the fact that Pyrrha was very close to her mother, and they made a lot of, like, communication stuff.
That's
like,
what
Pyrrha
I'm
would have...
thinking.
Pyrrha would have, like, told her so much about, like, her friends and all that kind of stuff. So, like, you know, she was just surrounded by people that she loved.
Well, she mentions her mother as well in Volume 3 when talking about the maidens, story of the maidens. She's like, my mother loves that story. So.
Oh, it's true.
Mm.
That's a nice little time. I never thought about that. That would have been cool if, like, if you mentioned something. That would have been really nice.
So she does mention her mother in Volume 3. So, yeah, my mother loves that story. And she said loves, particular, not loved, but loves. So to make that her mother is alive. And... yeah, so I can just imagine like her telling all Pyrrha stories to Pyrrha
that ties her into her dying as the Four Maiden, just even like, or trying to be the Four Maiden, and she's mother loved that story.
Mother loved that story of the maidens.
Which probably had some more influence as to why she was so willing to do it.
Maybe.
Yeah. Again, I don't know if that particular was intentional.
I don't know.
That feels like something that's a bit too subtle to be intentional.
Yeah, but it was just an interesting line
because it's a very ironic kind of connection, I think.
Because Pyrrha could have just said, I love that story. She didn't have to say particularly, but she did.
She said,
my mum loves that story, or my mother loves that story.
I also don't remember, just because we're talking about Pyrrha, I don't know if we ever mentioned it back in episode 3 of this season. Do we mention how Ozma saying yes immediately to God of Light was very similar to Pyrrha saying yes to Ozma?
Yes. I think we did mention it. Okay. I think we did, yeah. Just how they both interrupted to say, yes, we'll do it. I'll do it.
Okay. Yeah. I just always love that parallel between those two.
I think we're pretty sure we did touch base on it.
If we didn't, there it is there.
Yeah, we touched base on it now.
Yeah. But I loved her design, again, it was very similar to Pyrrha's, the colour scheme and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if... I thought this at first, is her hair just recolored Maria's hair?
I didn't take too much notice of that. I don't know.
Well, it might have been. But
it might have been the same sort of style, because that makes sense.
There was a... you know what? I thought it was, I'm going to say it. There was an NPC... Don't know why that was the first, but let's go. I said it, so let's go with NPC. There was an NPC in August that had emerald hair.
Yeah.
It was a black emerald hair. I was like,
from an animation point of view, it makes sense to me.
All the time.
Yeah. You see similar clothing too, because I saw someone else also. Actually, I was looking at some footage from Volume 5 at the back in Menagerie, and there's one of the people in the crowd who has exactly the same outfit that Saffron has. At least the top half, the same sort of top, but it's a different colour. So I was like,
I'll go back and check that. That's really interesting.
I'll send you the clip later.
You go look at in episode 3, like a lot of the warriors were the same. Or you go look at in Volume 2 particularly, Nora's hair is everywhere all over Volume 2.
Yeah.
There are so many characters that have Nora's hair in Volume 2. Very, very funnily intentional that you see all that.
It's from an animation point of view, it definitely makes sense. But also, Yeah,
And
like
also,
you couldn't have everyone have
I
completely
also
different.
kind of like it because much like it kind of makes like the world not feel like, you know, these aren't the typical anime protagonists that like other, you know, you can pick them out of a crowd. You know, having characters with clothes or same hair, I kind of actually think it makes the world feel more normal.
Yeah.
I guess in the real world, every second person has the same hairstyle as you.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
You're not hit with the trends. But like even like talking about hair, none of the characters to me really had the typical anime style sort of hair.
Yeah, no.
Like even RWBY, for heaven's sake, like this RWBY's weak. Like it's just black hair with red tips. You know, it's nothing like spiky or huge or massive. It's just
it's unique. It's unique to Remnant to a degree, but not the style necessarily.
Yeah, exactly. She doesn't have spiky hair or something, you know, crazy. So that you see
that's
a
the
lot
American anime-ness coming in.
Yeah.
Has to kind of balance it
It's
out.
got pretty normal hair.
Yeah. But also, it also just ties into, you know, like, she has long hair because she's like Little Red Riding Hood, so she's like wearing a hood, so it's like having long hair. You know, and Goldilocks has so much hair.
Yeah.
You know, Weiss hair doesn't really connect to Snow White. It's just Weiss's hair is just awesome regardless.
Yeah. She's just got white hair, which I think is pretty
whereas like
rare
Blake
in
has
Remnant.
super long hair, like the Beast kind of thing, you know, like it all ties in to a degree, kind of thing.
To a degree, yeah.
I still think the best detail about hairstyles is that Ruby's hair always covers one eye, much like Cinder's did. And we all know what happened to Cinder's eye.
Well.
So we'll see if RWBY meets the same fate as Cinder did.
Hopefully not.
Eye.
But we're sidetracking. Back to statue. But I definitely think it's her mum, but it wouldn't surprise me if it's another relative. I definitely think it's a relative.
Yeah.
The other main theory about her, of course, is being Pyrrha's spirit, and I definitely see some why people would think that. In fact, she disappeared really quickly. In fact, she said thank you.
To Jean and Jean's aura. About the bind they have to their auras. The only thing that because again, I was kind of on that track. There's three. There's the mother or relative.
Yeah.
There's the visual representation of Pyrrha's aura. That's still bound to Jean.
Yeah.
That's probably now gone. That's probably that was like the last little parting thing to it. It's 12 o'clock, time for lunch.
12 o'clock, yeah.
Or it's some people even say like reincarnation, like Ozma to some degree. Which again, put that to the side. I don't think that's necessarily.
I don't think so.
It's possible because the Four Maidens and maybe reincarnation is more common in this world. We just don't realize it. But regardless,
I think more, and I would like it is that that life still continues beyond death in Remnant, not in a physical form, but more in a spiritual form. So I like how they sort of did with the leaf. To me, that sort of fits with that she's still there in spirit, influencing things. It could have been that it was her influence that brought John and the mother.
Oh, like so many like you look at you look at, say, Star Wars with the Force, like you become the Force and you become the world around you.
Yeah.
Or how, even in Lion King, where it's like Circle of Life, you die on the grass, then someone else eats you, kind of thing. Like it's always this big circle of. I always like that. It's a very common thing where like someone dies and they become the world, kind of in a sense.
Yeah.
I definitely like that, especially if dust and magic has something to do with like humans past. Some people have theories like that, so it'd be cool, like the idea of like not necessarily like people say like coal and oil is like dust in this world, kind of like how it's like remnants of people or animals or whatever. But when it's also in a sense of like just like the magic around you kind of thing can also be in a similar sense of like the spirits and aura of those who have passed is the aura that's just in the world kind of thing people can tap into or whatever. I think that all works really nicely. The only thing that doesn't lead towards the aura idea, particularly this being a representation, is the fact that she had a physical flower.
Yeah, she had the flowers,
That's a physical thing that she would have had. So that's where I'm like, not too sure on it.
And I saw I haven't researched myself, but I saw someone saying that the flowers were something representation of reincarnation. Then I saw someone else say that they were representation of motherhood.
Yes, that's exactly what I was saying. That's the thing. I think I saw... Maybe it was Callie Exon say that there were representations of reincarnation, but then I saw Kaito Dan say that there were representations of motherhood. So I really am not too sure. I'm not sure. It seems like it could be either way.
I didn't even ask my mum if she knew what sort of flowers they were, because we watched it together, and my mum also thinks that it's Pyrrha's mother. And, but I didn't actually ask her if she knew what the flowers were, because she's quite knowledgable when it comes to flowers.
Okay, I think someone said they were lilies, but that always feels like a generic just go-to flower word.
They're very interesting flowers. Like, they weren't roses or even daisy or anything. They were interesting looking flowers, and I don't know. I think it would be cool if they had some sort of significance.
I think though what the main thing I think to come of all this is that it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I think at the bottom line, it doesn't matter who this was.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
That's why they didn't name her as such.
The point of the scene was just for Jean to kind of get over this kind of thing. It was kind of him to put it to rest and kind of...
Oh, that's interesting, Corey.
Yeah.
Yeah, innocence restored after death. There you go.
Yeah, so it could just be like a tribute to her daughter. It's kind of like giving her those kind of flowers.
I just like how in RWBY there's usually reference and significance in a lot of little details. That's why I would like if the flowers had some sort of significance rather than just being flowers.
They would. It's one of those things where they wouldn't give her flowers unless it had some significance.
Yeah. And I think that was also to dispel the myths about it being a spirit as such as well, because she was holding something...
It's physical.
Yeah.
But unless they were magnetic flowers. She was a semblance from the grave.
They looked real. And the other thing too is and from what I've watched this scene a couple times, I think it's got like 4 entrances. Like there's it's like a square, and it's got like an entrance on each side, from what I can tell. Because some people are saying that she just vanished, and I say, well, no, she may have just gone out of a different entrance. So when John turned to look at Nora and Ren, she would have just walked around the statue and went out the other end.
It's a 4-sided block.
Yeah.
Rather than a building, it's a park. So it hits all 4 sides of the... At least 3, I think. If maybe not 4, but I think at least 3. At least like the 2 on the side and 1 behind where the Ren and Nora came from. Where
the only thing with Nora and Ren, they seem to walk straight up to the statue rather than across. But then again, they were focused on just Jean, so it makes sense why they didn't notice the statue to the right up the front, because they just saw Jean. They focused on Jean. Where's Jean? Where is he? Oh, statue.
or even say they might have seen her, but just didn't realise
what it was until they came up close.
But they come up to the statue and they have a nice little reaction to, and as subtle as it was, I do really like what they did with Ren and Nora here.
I really loved it too, how they're concerned for Jean, that they're family, they don't want to lose him, that they see he's in this depressive rut right now.
As much as we loved Pyrrha, as much as we love her, you're the one that's still alive right now. And we want to make sure you're okay.
Exactly.
Because they never had that. They've never had that moment for Pyrrha.
Yeah.
Really.
No, they haven't. The 3 of them really haven't had a good chat about Pyrrha. So I'm really glad they had this talk. How Jean said that she knew that she wasn't going to come back out of her fight with Cinder.
Which is one of those things where I didn't realise he hadn't said that before.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, he hasn't really made that connection before. So
there's hardly any talk about Pyrrha at all. Really, Ruby's had the most chat about it with Oscar, but not really from John. So I really like this moment that they're finally discussing it. Which is what we kind of wanted back in Volume 4. We wanted them to talk about it, but they didn't. But I guess because they were just focused on their mission at the time. So, yeah.
And it's very possible this was something that was meant to happen in Mistral in Volume 5. Because it could have been put in there regard. Like, Sanctum was in Mistral. It really wouldn't have made a difference.
Yeah.
So this might have been something that they moved to Argus.
Possibly. I just thought it was... I liked it being in Argus and it just came at a good moment. I
do like the idea that a lot of people were saying that now once they're done with all this, that Junior just go back to Argus and just that's where they live out the rest of their lives.
Maybe and train at Haven, get their licenses and
just be huntsmen at that city and like be the huntsman of Argus.
Yeah, if things will go well.
Maybe after if the military gets kicked out or whatever.
Yeah.
That they become the premier huntsman of that city. I really like that in honor of Pyrrha.
I think that would be cool.
If they all make it to the end, that is.
Yes.
Yeah, but I do like the Ren and Nora, although they didn't really go too much into it. I think like they almost like all that their grief and love for Pyrrha is just for Jean. Like they it's not that they're ignoring or they're disrespecting Pyrrha. It's just like they've lost things before, that they've been through this before, and they're not dwelling on it. But it's not like where Jean wasn't dwelling on it was harmful.
Yeah.
Ren and Nora not dwelling on it was more like because they realize they have to keep moving forward. They have to keep pushing through. And they've applied all that onto all those feelings onto Jean instead.
I think from their point of view, they were more receptive of Pyrrha's death pretty quickly. They came to terms with her death and moved on. Their grief wasn't as long. Well, with Jean, I think it's because he was dwelling on it. The fact, of course, that he realises right too late that she really loved him. He's cared for
there was so much more
him.
to their last moments. He
felt guilt that it should have been him. He even says that to red-haired woman, it should have been him, not her. He had a lot of guilt there. So, so that's why I think he held on to it for so long. But now it's more he's accepting it now, and hopefully he's more able to move forward. That's okay, need water. No problems, thanks for the lack.
Thanks for the message.
And thanks for the raid yesterday too.
Need water.
Need water. Hydrate. Where's the hydrate bot? It's in post, actually. Yeah.
Have we gone for an hour yet?
Yeah. Actually, no, sorry, I forget because we started late, so no, probably
so it might just be under an hour.
Because I think we didn't start right on the dot, so, yeah.
Yeah, I think Jean had never lost anyone before, whereas Ren, Nora, and Ruby have all experienced it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, he hasn't experienced loss. And for it to be so close to him and to have so much guilt associated with it as well.
The last moments kind of mean so much more and be so much more unsettling for him.
Yeah.
And, he'd be forced away to where he couldn't protect her kind of thing, whereas Ruby just didn't make it in time.
Yeah.
So it's all different things, but I quite like how they handle all of it. In terms of like where they've ended up, I think it's all been handled quite well. They could have gone different directions, had more they could have had a lot more like drama and stuff to it with Ren and Nora, but I'm glad that what they have done with
I really liked it, and I like how the three of them are just sticking together really well. As Nora said, they're a family, Yeah,
that's the thing. And like we love you, just like we loved Pyrrha, and we don't want to lose you, and that's what's important right now. We could grieve over Pyrrha, but it's more important to make sure that since you're still here, to make sure you're still.
Yeah.
Okay, and now I'm very looking forward to the next Cinder Jean meetup because much as I loved the outburst, I'm really curious now what's going to happen to next.
Now onto the best moment. You mean Crow passed out on the steps? Hey, there's the bot. Hydrate.
And it was a nice little comment here from Yang, like this is like the worst they've seen him.
Yeah, with Crow.
So it's a nice little comment. And I like that Yang gave that comment, because obviously Yang would know as much as RWBY does, so it's cool to get that from Yang. So we haven't got too much of Yang and Crow.
Yeah,
in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
I think because Yang just knows him, doesn't want to deal with his shit, whereas RWBY's still optimistic and trying. Yang's just like, you can deal with it. I've dealt with him in the past. Like, it's like I've been to Junior's nightclub before. I've seen Crow there a number of times.
Probably. I don't really see a nightclub being Crow scene. He's more into the smaller, quieter bars.
he was out hunting maidens for a year, then he came back and just like, I've got to catch up on my drinking. That's Crow guy. So, then we get Yang up, and then we get all the rest of them come back, and we get like the nice little I love it. Terra and Saffron's little comment there about the neighbours and stuff. That was funny.
It's great to the neighbours.
This is gonna look great to the neighbours. Shut up.
Crow's like, why am I on the stairs?
Why am I on the stairs? Because no one's home. Because we've been all out looking for Oscar.
Oscar?
Which is probably funny. When I heard that, I'm like, oh, so he knows Oscar's already inside. Like, Crow already knew that.
Maybe. I don't think so.
I'm not saying he did. I'm saying I like to think that he did.
Yeah, though he didn't get to the door.
Like, what do you mean? What do you mean listening? What do you mean waiting? What do you mean looking for Oscar? He's here, but he's too drunk to actually get it out.
Maybe.
I like that idea.
I like how Jean's like, we're not going to go to Atlas without him, and she was really good.
Yeah, that was something that I guess I didn't interpret from the previous episode that there was a chance they weren't going to.
I think. In a way,
I still liked that they did it, because it was kind of like, oh wow, you guys there was an idea they were going to leave. It's like, damn, well, I'm glad you guys aren't. It didn't feel like. I think
it's more the fact that Jean, Nora, and Ren were really questioning why they were continuing it on, and that's where it sort of ended up with. They don't know whether they're going to continue on, why they're going to Atlas. There was a lot of doubts and questioning. So I think it's more that Jean said, "Well, we're not going to Atlas without him," and RWBY's like, "We." Is that, are you going to come with us now? Sort of thing. So I think they were maybe thinking that they would split off. But and Oscar went shopping!
Yeah, no, I love that. And again, like I said it, like, I said like last week or whatever that like he's gonna be home. There's gonna be no issues whatsoever.
Yeah, he was home.
And we discussed a lot of the stuff at the start of the stream.
Yeah,
so
we
if you
did.
Just joined us. So we just got a lot. But just to touch on some things here, then we'll move on to Ruby and Crow in a bit. I do like his new outfit.
Yes.
The red is a little jarring.
I do think that too. Yeah, I think it might have looked a little bit better with maybe some gold hands instead of red. But it's growing on me. I like it.
Yeah, it definitely will.
Yeah.
I like they still like he still has like the white shirt underneath. He's got like even more bandages and stuff around his neck. He has like a massive big gold belt. Like a massive one. Lots of little things.
His orange gloves still. He's still got the orange gloves, which is bright and contrasting. But
God, this costume.
Then it's got like wraps, similar to Blake's wraps, but different sort of wraps on his.
Yeah, retail therapy basically.
They're going to be annoying to make cosplay.
Yeah, you're telling me someone who's done Oscar before. You're telling me that.
The jacket will be the most significant thing to make.
God. I do like that they've gone with like the light green because that is like his colour.
The green looks good.
It's like the light green and brown is like his colour. So maybe they should have made his like stuff brown maybe rather than red. To match up with pine being his colour.
But it's smart and
I do really like it, and I love that. I love too the style it has the cross.
Yeah. Just like
Ruby, just like Crow, just like Ozpin, they all have the crosses.
The cross, yeah.
Very
wizard look. Yeah.
It looks. You did mix of like a duster jacket, like a. I don't know what to describe it really.
It's not quite a robe, but it's a jacket, but it's got a robe sort of look to it.
It's like a trench coat almost.
Yeah.
But it looks kind of like old English trench coat. With a mix of like wizard in there, but with a bit of combat look to it. It's all really interesting. I'm very curious to see if we'll get like a crew episode or something discussing his outfit.
Yeah, I don't think we got a concept art for it though.
I'm really curious what went into that outfit. I think that's what I'm very interested in.
Yeah, I hope we get some concept art for it too, so sort of to have a look a bit more at the details.
But I also love the callback to the fact that like he's like he's a farmer. He would have done a lot of housework. Like he tried to like cook.
Yeah, cook the casserole. We're having a very important discussion on Twitter about what sort of casserole it was. Hey, kitten. I can't wait to see him fighting it. Yeah, well, we might get a chance to see that soon.
Yeah, hopefully. But then we get this like little confrontation between Ruby and Crow, and it's just a matter of like
I love Determined Ruby there. Determined Ruby is great.
I love Crow. I love Crow's reactions to this because he has like a shock on himself to see Ruby stand up to him.
Yeah.
Granted it's warranted, and I think Crow even realizes that, but it's still I think just surprising just because what he knows of Ruby to see this kind of different person come out almost.
Yeah.
I really liked it. Also before that, obviously we've got like John's plan.
Yes, the Atlas ship.
What I really like about this is again, it's Jean going back to his like leadership or like
thinking of ideas, tactician,
kind of idea man, basically, without taking Ruby's leadership spotlight.
Yep.
Which I think was handled really well because it's always kind of been one or the other almost. So to give like Ruby's still the leader, but then here's the ideas guy.
Yeah.
So it still worked really well, and
good, kitten. Thanks for peeking in. I hope you had a good stream.
It was a good idea, and like I like those like kind of like Weiss was kind of like the one that's like that's probably not a good idea.
Yeah, but the other interesting thing too, I thought was if you go back to the scene with the statue when John's looking up at it just before he walks away, there's an Atlas ship that actually flies past. I didn't notice it till my second watch. I'm like, so that's probably where he got the idea.
Yeah, that's where he got the idea from. I love that too. I love that detail as well.
Yeah. I'm thinking instead of them stealing a ship, I'm hoping that maybe they'll sneak upon a ship instead. Stow away on a ship or something instead of rather actually them stealing one. But Terra may help them get on the airfield. Maybe I'm not sure.
Yeah, possibly. And then Terra comes in. Not Terra. Crow comes in. He's like, it's like this is like. If you kids want to do this, fine, but this is a no coming back from plan.
Yeah,
if we fuck this up, we're in jail, and that's it. We're done.
And he said, like, for your sakes, just drop it. Like, he doesn't want them to lose everything in this, Which
I actually thought was was actually, I think, the best way he could have said it. Granted, he said it pretty aggressively, but just that little final note of, like, for your sake,
just drop
don't do this. It's not worth it, And whether that's referring to the plan or this whole relic thing, I'm not sure. But
I think he meant the whole thing in general. He's over it. He doesn't want to be a part of it anymore. And that's like RWBY says, look, I don't care what you think. We're going to do this our way. We've done this on our own before. And
some people are very critical of this scene because it's almost like people think it doesn't make sense. In terms of like, well, what do you mean, RWBY? You've almost always had an adult to save you in the end.
No, not in the end. Like, they made the decision on their own to head to Haven. They throughout Volume 4, they were on their own. Yes, they had Crow following them. They did not know that, but they made that decision on their own, and they made that journey mostly on their own.
Crow didn't help them in the end with the Knuckleby. That was all them.
That was all them. Like, he didn't actually really help them get to Haven. In the end, they got there on their own.
Or even back through volumes 1 through 3, there hardly was any adult interaction, help apart from like Oobleck. Maybe.
A lot of the time, they just did the decision on themselves, and they just did it their way. Exactly. Like, they just.
I think that's something that I see where people have a point where there are a lot of adult intervenes with the team, but I think there also is a lot of them doing it themselves.
A lot of the major decisions they make were actually decisions made on their own.
Yeah, I think it really just came to interpretation. Like, what side did you immediately think of as soon as you heard her say that?
Yeah.
And again, like, I didn't really think too much into it. I was just like, this is just whether she has a point or not. It's just the idea. It's just the idea of her setting up, saying, "Hey, we have ideas. We want to work with it." Just because you think it's hopeless doesn't mean it's over.
I think it's also to the point that she's like, "Well, we're going to continue doing this with you or without you. We want you with us, but if you want to not join us, then we're just going to do it our way, and we're going to do it anyway," sort of thing.
I love Nightwalker's. I love Nightwalker's comment here. Yeah. We're fighting an invisible lady with an endless army of Grim and I have a gun and a scythe. None of this makes sense. That immediately makes me of Hawkeye from the second Avengers movie. It's like, we're fighting robots, and I have a bow and arrow. None of this makes sense.
None of this makes sense.
But we do it anyway because it's our job. I love
that. Yes,
I don't know exactly what you were referencing, but if not, if you were, good on you. If not, it still works.
Yeah.
Love it. But no, and then...
And I like how Maria sort of giggles there, and she goes, "You didn't give him enough credit either," and she's holding Adrian too, which I thought was a really nice little touch there, because of course Tara and Saffron went to get the casserole, so...
Yeah, but all in all, despite, again, some critiquable scenes, if you look too much into it, I actually really liked on surface level, and its subtlety as well, this episode a lot. I really liked this one.
I did too, yeah.
The only 2 episodes that I think I haven't flawlessly loved was maybe 4 and 8.
Yeah.
But everything else, I think I really, really enjoyed for one reason.
Yeah.
But again, ever since Volume 3, and just the idea, there's always going to be character and pacing issues. It's just the nature of the show. So yes, we don't get villains every episode. Yes, we don't get Adam. Yes, we don't get all this. We don't get fight
scenes every episode. But
it's just what RWBY is now. But I think at least now, I think they're doing it really well. Yeah. Whereas Volume 4, I think in hindsight a lot better than it was at the time. I think because it was just so different at the time, was very jarring. I think now Volume 4 is a much better ground to stand on, but had the most issues of like pacing and who was who and characters and stuff.
I think Volume 6 so far is really great with the pacing. Again, we don't know the end game, but I think definitely we need these moments in here up to what's going to happen next. And because we're at a point at the moment we don't know what's going to happen, but when the volume's finished and we rewatch the volume as a whole, it's going to definitely feel a lot better, because we're going to have some high moments, some lows, with some character moments, and more high moments than lows. It's just how it flows up to the big finish at the end. So
and when I say pacing, I think the pacing is like the best it's ever been. But when I say pacing, I mean more of the lines of like characters in episodes kind of thing. Yeah. Like, we haven't seen Adam for a long time. We've only seen the villains twice. You know, and we're at the third third bit of the finale. And I'm not saying that's a criticism. It's just a reality of the time they have to work with.
I think also because they're mainly, at the moment, it's really focused on RWBY and Ranger's journey right now. So this is the real main focus of the volume. And the villains are there doing their own things. Yes, they've got some importance, yes. But the main focus, of course, is RWBY trying to get to Atlas. And that's what they're focusing on at the moment.
And the main reason I bring this up, and something a lot of people have mentioned both in context to a certain leak recently and context now, with the Adam character shorts, we haven't seen much of Adam this volume, despite him having a character short. Even though at this point, the only reason they did an Adam character short is so they could have Sienna. kind of, I'm not wrong.
Well, I'm not saying it was a bad thing. I love Sienna, so...
No, and I don't think it was as well. And I still think that given the leaks, we are going to get the Adam Blake rematch or the Adam and Yang the Adam versus Blake and Yang fight at the end of this volume.
Makes a lot of sense.
Which is why I don't call it leaks or anything like that. It was just because it was in the crew episode. They had obviously they should have camera shots and stuff, and they had a mocap scene with 3 characters, one with a sword. So that was one bit of evidence. And in the background, and like they had like a storyboard that looked like it was Blake and Adam.
Okay.
So that's where all this comes from, and that's where like we haven't seen Adam much this volume, but I like the idea of like obviously we saw him in episode 1, had his mask back on. We saw him and that's also another thing that apparently is leaked is him without the mask apparently.
Oh, okay.
Which I don't know, it didn't look like much to me, but we'll see what comes of it. We had him in episode 1. We then had 2 illusions of him apparently.
Yep.
In volumes episodes 1 and 5.
5, yeah.
And I'm really liking the idea of the next time we see him, they think it's an illusion, but it's actually him.
It's actually him. It makes a lot of sense too, because to me, I'm not sure if you saw there was I can't remember what it was on now. There was a little blurb about the finale. Yeah,
from Verve, and it was like you'll see RWBY in a new light or something.
It said something big was going to happen, and it is a big moment, and it definitely makes sense with the Adam character short. The fact that Adam's been referenced a couple times already through the volume, he's such an important part of Yang and Blake's story, and that makes more sense than Neo and Cinder rocking up, because Neo and Cinder are heading straight to Atlas. While Adam is going after Blake particularly.
And that's why we also don't need to see him.
Yeah.
Because 1, Nightworker says 2, it's honestly kind of it's also kind of like scary not knowing what Adam's up to.
Yeah,
that's almost like a sense of like, oh fuck, but our heroes don't know what he's up to. He's probably tracking down our team, so we don't need to see that. Yeah, it's meant to be a surprise.
Yeah,
kind of thing. As long as we get like a really good fight, and considering the Adam short, again the only thing I'm questioning is kind of Blake, because Blake's fighting has always been a bit iffy since Monty.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes, but from what I've seen, it looks like they're handling it quite well.
It makes me very nervous, because I was even nervous in Haven with them meeting up with Adam, because he's just.
If when Adam shows up, we have a big like talking, like we have a lot of discussion kind of thing, whether during the fight or before the fight, we get like a good amount from him.
Yeah.
Then I think it's fine, and then we'll get a really good fight hopefully. Yeah, the whole 3 weeks behind thing, I'm still not 100% certain on.
They're definitely behind them. Yeah, I think they're definitely behind. And I also think they may not go to Argus. I think they're going to try and get straight to Atlas, which makes more sense.
Yeah, which is why I think the big bad in this volume will be Adam.
Yeah, and which makes sense.
And maybe the Atlas military or whatever happens.
Yeah, with Adam tracking Blake, he wants specifically Blake. He doesn't care about their end game or what they're doing or what she's planning. He just wants to get to Blake. So, yeah.
If we do see do you think this will be the end of Adam? If we do see...
Maybe. I hope so.
Time?
I don't really see where else Adam can go after the confrontation with Blake and Yang. Depending how the confrontation goes, that's really his thing. And I don't see what he could do after that. So
I just want to see, like... I don't know if we're going to get this, but I just really want to see kind of everything. Let's get the talk of abuse. Let's get the relationship problems in the past. Let's get Yang's PTSD. Like, let's bring everything to the forefront here. Not everything, so the stuff I've theorized, because that would be too R-rated for this show. But if we get into like the really deep, dark stuff, not the super dark stuff, between Blake and Adam, or PTSD, or whatever. But again, I would be satisfied with Adam dying unless we get into that at least once.
Yeah.
Otherwise, keep him around until we can get into that.
Well, even Blake referenced it slightly back in chapter 5 about Adam and controlling and all of that. So it'll be good to go into a little bit deeper. Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that could happen.
Also, but also let's not like a Haven fight where it's like fighting, then like 3 minutes of talking, then a few seconds of fighting. Let's have like a big discussion, then a fight, then maybe a break discussion, then like a fight. Let's pace the fight really well. But but again, if all this stuff from the RWBY and the setup stuff is true, then it looks like they're putting a lot of effort into this fight.
Yeah. Well, it's such a big moment. It's been leading up to even
hopefully
before Volume 3, really.
This is the Raven Cinder of this volume, where they put so much into it, but they've still kept everything else at a high level this volume, where in Volume 5 they didn't quite do that to a degree.
Yeah, it's just going to be a huge moment, and they've got to nail it. Which I'm sure they will nail it. They've nailed everything else in this volume so far, so I'm sure they will. And they've had a lot of time Because they've started with the volume earlier as well to really plan out these moments and put work into it.
They don't have to do as much because they're doing 13 episodes, not 14. So they have less they have to do, which they get more time for the other stuff. Which I think will be good in hindsight.
Which also means we only got 3 episodes left.
4. 10, 11, 12, 13.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Well,
Doing 3 episodes left right now, 4.
Yeah, we're both pretty tired. I woke up half an hour before the stream started.
Same.
I think, yeah. So
I haven't been sleeping well the last few days. I've been working a little project. I'm just giving you guys a little hint. I'm going to talk to Dawn about it afterwards. But yes, I was up late last night. Beck, I believe, was up late as well. She was meant to do the bootcast at 7:30 this morning. Didn't happen. And she had to work. That's also why I was going to be earlier than normal.
I was rushing to get today's upload done yesterday.
I haven't seen it yet, actually.
I didn't finish editing it till like 4 in the afternoon, and then I'd like a bunch of friends come over to play Smash Brothers all night.
Oh, awesome.
So I was dealing with that, then cleaning up the house and stuff. So so I'm pretty tired. And then I got to go to work and stuff later. So still got to.
Where's your upload? I haven't. Oh, there it is. Oh, that looks good. I like it.
Yeah, I don't know. Something about the pending stuff doesn't always work super well these days.
I think it looks good. I like it with the colours. It makes it really good over his outfit. I'm going to post this in the chat for you guys so you guys can see.
I was going to what was I going to do? I was originally going to do, because normally I do character changes with the digital works, with the character with the costume changes, but I did Oscar just the week before digital, so I didn't want to do it again. So I did Mercury instead digital.
Yeah, I've been really loving your digital work. I still like the charcoal drawings and the penning, but I really like the digitals. There's just something about them. It just looks really good. Yeah, I say the finale definitely is going to be a long episode. Hell, chapter 3 was half an hour long. How long is the finale going to be?
That's actually a really good point. They could because of Genlock, they could just actually make episode 13 like 40 minutes long or something.
What date is it coming out again? Is it the
26th?
26th, yeah. I'm going to have
23rd or something like that.
That's going to be a fun week for me. Because I'm going to have a RWBY to do and Genlock. I'm also going away for 2 days because of work during the middle of the week as well. And Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out.
Yeah, freaking Dan was saying that on Twitter, like, this is going to be a hell of a week.
Yeah.
At that point. But no, that's just a good point. Because I thought, like, because Genlock was coming out on the 19th. And RWBY was going to end on the 23rd or the 31st or something like that.
Yeah, it probably would have been the 2nd of Feb, maybe it would have come out. So.
Yeah, it was going to end around there. But then they decided to push Genlock back a week and then pull RWBY back a week. So I thought, so they've cut an episode for time-wise and stuff. But maybe they're just going to make episodes 13 or 14 one episode. So it doesn't cross over Genlock. Because Rooster Teeth are very, very hyped for Genlock. This is going to be their baby. This is going to be their child. This is going to be their child going forward.
Absolutely.
Which again, as a diehard RWBY fan, that does make me a little sad.
Yeah. RWBY, I think, was what got them to where they are at the moment, really, when it comes to animation.
Like Red versus Blue, then RWBY, and now it's moved on to Genlock. And there'll be something after Genlock. It will be. But,
yeah, absolutely.
It's just one of those things where it's like, seeing everyone in the company praise and hype Genlock is kind of just like, that's awesome, but RWBY's still here.
RWBY's still
good. Yeah. Don't leave us in the dark. We still love the show. And I remember seeing something on Reddit where someone misinterpreted, because Miles tweeted out a few weeks before the premiere that he has to kill his children, and that was referencing to storyline cuts.
I
remember seeing someone on Reddit being like, "Well, who's gonna die?"
I think we all started freaking like, "Oh no, someone's dying!"
If that ties into volumes, episodes 13 and 14, maybe they knew even back then.
Yeah.
But I feel like after that they mentioned that it's gonna be 14 episodes, so maybe that doesn't have to do with that.
I'm not sure. But again, I think it makes sense for them to put the 2 episodes together. It probably means we're going to get probably maybe a 40-minute, even longer episode. But, of course, we've got the credits too. The credits always take about 5 minutes as well. So.
But also at the same time, that was kind of one of the issues we had with the end of Volume 5. The end of Volume 5 seemed rush and also cut off at the same time. It was really weird, because, like, especially the last episode, it felt like it was meant to be longer. But the whole story had already been stretched out. But that felt like it should have been longer.
It did. It definitely felt like there should have been more in there, but,
Yeah, I was darlings. I think it's
Darlings, that's right. He
Darlings,
said, I
yeah.
had to kill my darlings. We're like, ah!
Yeah, well, at the same time, like I said before, that I think the pure stuff was probably going to happen in Mistral,
Yeah.
but that was cut. But they reused it later. So that's often what happens if they cut something that's going to reuse it later. Yeah. But I think
we're about wrapped up, hey?
I think we're about wrapped up. I think that was quite good. I think we got through that quite well, I thought.
Yeah, I think so too.
So, if anyone else has any other questions, and if you're watching on the VODs, either on Twitch or YouTube, which will go up 4 hours after this, thank you very much. Of course, feel free to comment. We will be monitoring the comment section, and we'll happily reply to comments as if you were watching the live stream.
Yes, thank you everyone for watching YouTube.
Thank you everyone for watching YouTube. Thank you everyone watching in the live chat now. If you have any comments, feel free to make it still. And thank you everyone who was lurking, watching, following, anything like that is super appreciated.
We love you all.
Larissa streams his other stuff throughout the week, so make sure to stick around to watch Kingdom Hearts, Pokemon, Spyro.
Mostly Kingdom Hearts.
Dark Souls, whenever that comes back.
At some point.
Whatever. She streams. She ever wants to go to buying up Isaac again. That'd be nice.
Yeah, I would like to at some point. It's just trying to fit everything in at the moment. And, but if does anyone have any questions before we wrap up the live stream?
Yeah. We'll be back next week.
Next week.
Episode 10, which
10.
I will check one more time to see if the information for that episode has come out. They've been pretty good, though, keeping it to very last minute the past few weeks.
Yeah, so we'll have, next week, chapter 10, and then 11, 12, 13. So, we'll see how we go after the Corner Remnant stream for chapter 13, whether we do another Corner Remnant after that, because the following weekend maybe, but the weekend after that I'm going to be really busy with my birthday. But we'll just play it by ear with what happens there and what we need to talk about. But the Corner Remnant might take a break for a little bit after the RWBY season's finished.
After the RWBY season's over, I believe it'll probably still be
Phil Berg goes to a plane.
That's actually a good idea. That's a good way to get into an airship.
Yeah,
that's a really good idea. It's a pretty good idea.
Let's see if they can convince him to do it.
Imagine if someone get Raven involved. They somehow find a way to contact Raven and just get her to show up. It's like, can you steal this for us? You should be good at that.
Well,
still hoping for the tie Raven.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure Raven's in Vale right now, so.
Still hoping for that. But it could very well be that was just an escape method for her to get away, not actually going to tie.
Yeah. So, well, that's true. She used that before with the portal to Crow. She used that to get to talk with Leo.
To Lionheart.
To Lionheart, yeah.
Regardless, we'll just have to wait and see. So, thank you everyone for joining us. Very fun stream.
Yeah, it's been good.
And we'll hope to see you guys next week to discuss episode 10.
Yes, before we head off, we need to praise the Great One in Weisspoon. You forgot, didn't you? Ah! I've got her in a drawer with all my other stuff. Praise the Great One.
Oh, there goes Neo.
And Weisspoon, Pocket Neo.
Also got Pocket Weiss as well, but it's a bit bigger.
I don't think that's gonna work somehow. You need the little mini one. You need the little one like this one. See, I've got.
Well, if I had the penny one, I'd definitely have the penny one, but I don't have the penny one.
Aww.
Ah. Well, they're here.
Yay! Praise the Great One in Weisfu. Woo!
Yay! Woo!
Thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you all next week.
Bye.
See everyone. Bye.